How quick the night changes, how quick the pitch changes. The heat from day 3 met a baked surface at Lord's on day 4 to set things up for a fascinating day 5. Welcome to ESPN Cricinfo Matchday with Sanjay Manjrekar joining us. India 58 for 4, chasing 193 to win. Has that wicket of Shubman Gill right at the end tilted the scales in England's favour?
Yes, and in a way, 3 wickets, plus the fact that India perhaps had an opportunity to initiate a complete collapse of England. And, a 140 all out, 145 all out was possible. But somehow England went closer to 200 and thereby making India's job a little more difficult. India, with the kind of batting form that they've had in the series, were expected to get there, albeit under some pressure, because this is a different kind of challenge where it's not a big score, but they know what's at stake. And when you have a score that's not too big, there's also this temptation of playing some shots, attacking shots and trying to get there quickly.
Even more so when, after seeing a test where the first 3 days only 20 wickets fell, you now see a day where 14 wickets have fallen, batters are on edge.
See, there was a reason why we saw 10 wickets of England, because in the morning session, we saw the pitch wake up and become really difficult to bat on against the new ball, and Bumrah and Siraj made life really difficult. But then it went to sleep. Once the ball got a little older, went to sleep, and if not for Washington Sundar, maybe we would have not seen we would have seen lesser wickets fall, and we would have seen more runs scored. Washington Sundar just had a magical spell that he bowled. The kind of batter, I mean, Joe Root would not have got out even on this pitch. He got him out, and then Ben Stokes, and then Jamie Smith. He just made things a lot easier for India, and that is why we've seen so many wickets fall as well.
Yeah, he is the biggest story of the day. England were 140, 150 for 4 around the time Washington Sundar was introduced. Lost their last 6 for 38 across almost 20 overs. But because India have lost these wickets, heading into what many would have thought is maybe not as difficult to chase. Let's go there first. The batters and just what transpired in that last 45 minutes. How disappointed will they feel?
Quite a bit disappointed. But quickly, I just want to go and look at the larger picture. Well done to India still with the kind of team that they went there. And this is going to be the toughest challenge. And they batted out with the skills right through the series. But this is going to need another kind of tremendous mental effort and some skills as well. Starting with Jaiswal, you can see the effect that the first innings dismissal had on him. He realized that this is a page where there will be a ball with his name on it. And pre-programmed anything short, I'll try and play, my attacking shots and get some runs. Wasn't a ball to be pulled, could have just cut it. So those kind of things start playing on your mind. Karun Nair, for my liking, has far too many little holes in his batting, which keep getting a little exposed temperamentally as well. When he almost walked to a leg before, shows his state of mind. Big story, of course, will be Shubman Gill. And then Akashdeep as night watchman was a predictable dismissal.
Shubman Gill, 9 balls stay at the crease, and considering he's been scoring runs for fun, looked really troubled.
Yeah, I mean, he was beaten 4 times. And I think in the whole series, he's not been beaten 4 times. So I'm sure, at least at this stage of his career, short sample size, what happened on the evening on day 3 has to be the reason why he looked so tentative in this final session, because the kind of form ability that he has, his entire body language and just missing balls had a lot to do with the kind of climate there was around him, the vibe that he got from the fielders around him.
Yeah, only one batter has looked assured in this short second innings. I'll hold on to that one, and let's rewind the day now, because India have lost 4 wickets in this chase, but that they find themselves 135 runs away from being 2-1 up was down to their most complete bowling performance of this series so far. But the headline act was the 6th entrant on the bowling card. You've already set up Washington Sundar. Root, Smith, Stokes, all bowled, just broke the game open.
Yes, and he's a new captain. He's a young captain. He's done brilliantly so far in the series. But Shubman Gill must make a note of this, that he's got 2 spinners, and these are not part-time spinners. It just doesn't, he's not too keen to go to the spinners. He gets a little preoccupied with the seamers. And finally went to Washington Sundar out of, almost like a last resort that he went there. And well, Washington Sundar, just a dream spell for him. Wicket of Joe Root, it's so hard to come by. Got him out, and then James Smith would have just taken the game away from India in about 45 minutes. Got him out with a beauty. And then Ben Stokes, after tea, I think, decided to take Washington Sundar on, got him out as well. So a dream spell, really.
It's not a huge sample, his test career, but does already have this happy knack of getting the big wickets. Mine goes back to his debut at Gabba, where he got Steve Smith and David Warner, big wickets both. He was bowling from the nursery end, which means he was turning against the slope. Convention would dictate that you'd rather be bowling from the pavilion end. Why did it work so well for Washington?
I'm not a great guy to talk about the effect of slope on the game, because I tend to look at things that actually happen. So maybe there was some bearing there. And even as a player, it's after I played, I think, one test match and maybe a one-day international, somebody told me about the slope, and that's when I came to know about it. But he just keeps it simple. He's got a very high arm sort of release action. Even when he seems to be bowling slowly, he's quite quick. And this kind of a pitch where there's enough dryness, as we saw against New Zealand, he filled Ravichandran Ashwin's boots quite effortlessly. The ball that he should be proud of was the one that got James Smith out, because there was a slight round arm, little change of the high release position and going little round arm. And because the ball was quick, it didn't turn, it flattered trajectory, but bowled full. So he's got those subtle skills as well. Just needs a captain who feels that he's your wicket taker, whatever the conditions, and there'll be tremendous growth in this young man.
Yeah, and it was a vital period for India, as Sanjay points out. Gill took his time to go to the spinners, but it was the spinners operating in tandem for those 14-15 overs before the interval, which got India back in the game. There was the Root-Stokes partnership, but before that, session number 1 had belonged to India. How good were India's pacers, and especially Mohammad Siraj with that morning burst?
Yeah, you wondered why India didn't go to Akashdeep with the new ball, considering that, he's got Ben Duckett out so many times, and I'm sure Ben Duckett somewhere must have been relieved that that happened. But then we came to know that there was some issue with Akashdeep, not 100% fit, as Siraj would have known that, because the amount of, bowling that he did, a 7-over spell, and he would have carried on for another couple of overs. But this is what Siraj is. At this stage of his career, I still believe that he doesn't have the kind of skills that he had at the start of his career. So this is a guy who uses his experience and just this lion-hearted effort to come in and run in and believing that he can get a wicket of every ball. The scramble seam is working beautifully for him. Ben Duckett got a bit too eager with the short ball. But it's nice to have a Siraj in your team, because he doesn't seem to have too many fitness issues. And those are the ones I think Indian selectors also need to start backing guys who are going to be durable, rather than, perform in one game and suddenly have a problem with fitness in the second.
The pitch obviously got a lot tougher to bat on, but given how Siraj, Bumrah at the end, Reddy chipping in with Crawley's wicket and the spinners, India's most complete bowling performance in a while, not just this series.
Yeah, you can say that because when they won the test match at Edgbaston, it was mostly seam, nothing much from the spinners. But here you've got a spinner making a match-winning impact. If India gone to win, along with KL Rao's hundreds and Bumrah's 5-wicket haul, Washington Sundar's 4-wicket will be a match-winning impact. So it's nice to have that as a added facet, that when you want to get teams out, you've got a world beater in Bumrah. And if Akashdeep has walked off the field, you've got a spirited seam bowler in Siraj. Jadeja will continue to be Jadeja, tight and never easy to get away. But Washington Sundar is a huge gain.
All right, let's gaze into the crystal ball now. Let's try and get a gauge into day 5. It is hard to call, and I know better than to ask for predictions. But who holds the key? What are the keys to success for both sides?
See, yesterday I firmly believed that there was no way India could lose this match. The only loser possible was England, and a drawn scenario. But I believe now England are favourites. I would say 70-30 in England's favour, only because this ball is still hard and new. And we saw what happened in that morning session when India bowled on that pitch. This pitch reacts to the new ball. If England are forced to go to Shoaib Bashir, means India is winning the game. And that will happen only if Pant and KL Rahul bat out of their skins. I only worry with one aspect, because this young batting lineup has done so much of batting. There's been such a sort of the mental reserves of their batting has been tapped into so heavily that this effort is going to be a mental effort where the target is small and a huge temptation to try and take the additional risk. I just want India, it's easier said than done, to just grind away and get to the target instead of thinking, you know what, like Jaiswal did, you know, play my shots and see what happens.
Yeah, it was Pant and KL Rahul who walked out at the start of day 3, enjoyed themselves a great first session, barring the end. The picture has changed completely.
Yeah.
Let's see how it pans out. Should be fascinating, Sanjay. Can't wait to have your company at the end of it. Only thrice in the history of men's test at Lords have sub-200 totals been defended by the bowling sides. Only once since 1955. That was England against Ireland in 2019.